changes to the patent system have both expected and unexpected consequences. So what new risks are likely to confront patent defendants in the years ahead?
Yeah, it's a terrific question. Thanks for that. So, I think that one of the trends that we are seeing here at RPX, and we feel like we have our ear to the ground pretty well since we represent so many large clients, is an increasing willingness for universities, and particularly public universities, to become patent litigants. If you look back at the data from the last 10 or 15 years, a handful of companies have been aggressive, of universities have been aggressive in licensing, and some of those licensing discussions have led to litigation, but it has never been a landslide of cases being brought by universities. But today, I think more universities, well, first off, in the IPR context, they have an advantage, because the way the law is right now, it's very hard to try to invalidate a patent that is owned by a public university because they have sovereign immunity. And their argument is they cannot be sued, and you can't go file a PTAB petition or an IPR against them. And so all of the factors that my colleagues here, Mark and Herb and I have been talking about as it relates to IPRs and the advantages for petitioners, they don't apply to universities, which is a great source of leverage. And secondly, if you think that from a macroeconomic perspective that student debt is an enormous bubble in our economy, universities are wondering how much of that student debt is ultimately going to be repaid, and therefore start thinking about other ways to bring in and monetize value. They want their technology from their research labs broadly deployed. They want the prestige of licensing with some of the world's great companies. And I think we're starting to see here, and I think you're seeing in filing rates, that universities are becoming much more active. So something to think about if you're outside counsel, if you're in-house counsel, if you're thinking about ways, as we've talked about on this, to mitigate risk. I think you might want to think about how would you go about negotiating with public universities, what factors are different, and we're starting to see that trend.